Time now for Countywide, a special presentation of Yavapai Broadcasting News. Join News Director Paul David and News Editor Philip Catalfamo as they talk with our community's leaders, newsmakers, and people in the know. You'll hear about the hot topics in Yavapai County that affect all our lives. And now here's today's Countywide.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Countywide. I'm your host, Philip Catalfamo. I'd like to thank you for joining me. On today's show, we're talking Manzanita outreach, and my guest in studio today is Executive Director Mike Newcomb. Mike, welcome back.
Thanks, Philip. Appreciate it.
Well, the last time you and I spoke, we were in this right in the middle of the COVID-19 first wave. So let me start with this. How did you guys fare during that first wave?
Yeah, well, I think the most important thing that we did is we gathered all the food assistance providers in the Verde Valley together, the key ones, and talked about how we as a group react, how we collaborate. And the collaboration has been awesome. We work closely with the Bread of Life Mission in Camp Verde, with Sedona Community Food Bank, with Rising Hope over at Journey Church here in Cottonwood, and Old Town Mission. So we all got together and decided that we would change what we do. We won't be sharing food where people would congregate. Mm-hmm. So we converted to drive-through food sharing events and loaded food boxes in people's trunks.
How did that collaborative effort start? I mean, I know that the food sharing organizations are not necessarily a competitive market, but how did that collaboration start? Did you guys reach out to them? Did they reach out to you?
Yeah, we actually, our organization actually put it together, but it wasn't because of COVID. It was going to be our first consortium meeting and just talk about, what could happen. Mm-hmm. And with the news of COVID, it just happened to be on that meeting day, and so it just shifted our conversation immediately to our response.
So that first wave, of course, hit, and you guys did, I think everybody, really, the food banks all around did a great job of responding to that. What did that first wave teach you? What things would you change? What things would you keep if we do hit an inevitable second wave?
Now, for me, for Manzanita Outreach, it impacted our volunteers. A lot of our volunteers are seniors and many at risk from a health perspective. So we asked them to stay home for the most part, and hired a staff of part-time temporary help that were some laid-off people from food service and various things, and revise what we do in our food packing operation so we could be social distant, using conveyors to keep everyone apart. So basically what we do is we take milk crates, like 6-gallon milk crates, the rectangular shaped ones, fill them with a plastic bag, and then they go down our assembly line and somebody inserts a bag of potatoes or apples or whatever until the bag's full. And those go into our refrigerated truck and then to our food share sites, and then we put them in trunks of cars.
Now what about the restaurant workers? As you mentioned, you guys were hiring a lot of people who maybe had restaurant experience who were out of a job because of that. Why aim for those? Like, how did that get started?
Well, we just did an ad quick. I mean, we went from we need to do something to, hiring, a dozen people in 7 days and just changing everything that we did. So I knew that, people that had, food service experience would be good candidates for what we're doing. And man, it was an awesome team. Still is. We have a few still left. Many have gone back to work now. Mm-hmm. But it's been an awesome experience. And what it taught me is that, and I think it's important for the community to know, is we collectively can scale what we do as we need to. And the group that I mentioned earlier, the consortium group, has done an amazing job. It's not Manzanita Outreach alone. It's been everyone, doubling, tripling, quadrupling the amount of people that we are able to share food with.
But in scaling back as well, you guys have expanded too. I know a couple of the food sharing events were canceled. Can we talk about that a little bit? Why were they canceled?
Yeah, well, we're mobile outreach, doing food shares, at different various locations throughout the Verde Valley. This is pre-COVID-19, but those weren't conducive to a drive-through. And we didn't want to be part of the problem. We want to be part of the solution. So if we couldn't convert to drive-through, we didn't do those events, and then expanded the locations where we could, which is basically at Verde Valley Christian Church. We went to every Friday night, Saturday morning, which has been crazy. We've had as many as 800-900 cars in a weekend come through.
Wow, that is incredible. You guys are, as we know that you guys are a local organization, you're helping out a lot of the cities and towns and whatnot, but a lot of the rural communities as well. Can we talk a little bit about the work down there?
Yeah, we had the opportunity to be part of some of the emergency management discussions, and it was through the Red Cross and others that we realized there's a major need in the rural communities of Yavapai County. So we connected with Yavapai County Education Service Agency, and through them the superintendents at schools within the rural school districts. And as we speak right now, we have our truck is in Cortez Lakes, and Salvation Army of Prescott has a truck that's also working with us that's going to Mayer High School, Mayer Elementary. The mayor of Dewey is picking up food. We're going to Beaver Creek. Yesterday we were in Ash Fork, Seligman, Skull Valley, Kirkland. So just getting all around to these rural communities, which has really come to light, that very underserved communities.
Now we know that COVID really hit the reservations very hard, specifically the Navajo Nation. Are you guys doing anything with the reservations?
Well, I've kept in touch. We had done food sharing events on the Hopi Reservation, and we connected the Hopi group with St. Mary's Food Bank. So they are now doing food sharing events on all three mesas, is my understanding. But they've also reached out and asked for a little bit of extra help. In fact, tomorrow we have 3 pickup loads of children's books, food for kids, just gloves, masks, those kinds of things going up to the Hopi, and mailing, I think it's 40,000 gloves to the Navajo emergency response group there. That will be happening this week.
Yeah, and that's great. Definitely, like I mentioned, the reservations specifically have been hit very hard by COVID-19, and it's great that these organizations are going up there and helping out as best they can. ManzanitaOutreach.org is the website. Of course, mohelp.org is also a website that we will be talking about. It's been an interesting start to the year, very much so with COVID-19, but organizations like you being able to expand and help out, and more specifically, is there any more talks of expanding more with Manzanita Outreach?
There is. We are working with a couple of groups in the Quad Cities now to see how we could expand there, and those are relatively early, but I would say within the next 30 days that we'll be able to do that. We did in the month of April, we did go to Prescott High School and did a food share there. But we hope to expand what we do throughout all of Yavapai County, with the idea that any resident, any of our neighbors that live in Yavapai County will have enough food to eat, regardless of where they live, when they work, or whatever their personal circumstances are. So that's our mission, and we're through our collaborative efforts with so many different people, I think we'll make that happen.
And it must help to have that collaborative effort with the other food banks. Like I said, it's not a competitive market. You're all trying to accomplish the same thing, but it must be really nice to have that real, collaborative effort with the other organizations that really gives you guys a lot more confidence as well.
Absolutely does. It's not just that, but it's, we're working with Red Cross, we're working with the school systems, we have National Guard helping us, just a lot of collaborations, multiple churches. And I just would, be remiss if I didn't talk about, the donations that we and others have received. The community has come forward for us and others. Arizona Community Foundation of Sedona and Yavapai County, and United Way of Yavapai County has been there to help literally put fuel in our tanks to help us do what we were able to do. And just in our case, just for perspective, in March we were at about 1,500 families a month, food boxes, pre-COVID. April it grew to 4,500, so it tripled, and then we were 6,500 with our expansion into rural in May.
Wow!
So it's been a little bit crazy, but good.
Well, we're going to continue our conversation with Mike Newcomb of Manzanita Outreach on the other side of this break. Countywide will be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Starting in the late 1920s, Grandpa Gettle and his brothers laid the groundwork for what would become a family legacy. Almost 100 years and 100 patents later, Gettle's High Desert Mechanical continues to raise the bar of quality heating, cooling, and plumbing products and services in the Verde Valley.
Call Gettle's High Desert Mechanical Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing at 567-2200 or online at GettlesHDM.com, providing solutions for your comfort. Don't settle, get Gettles.
Hi, this is Greg at Verde Solar Power. You know, Arizona has lots of clean, renewable sunshine, and we want to help you take advantage of it with our quality solar installations, and we offer to beat any written offer on a residential solar electric system. So bring us your electric bill and let us show you how solar power will save you money. We're located conveniently here in the Verde Valley and are dedicated to helping the valley go solar. So remember, the energy solution comes up every morning.
So I just moved in with this family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
ORKIN has pest control down to a science.
When your business chooses ORKIN's Precision Protection Program, you get a tailored pest control program for your specific industry and environment.
Your business can benefit from over a century of experience, training, and scientific knowledge that define the ORKIN man.
Maximum protection, minimum exposure, backed by one of the industry's most comprehensive guarantees.
Choose your locally owned and operated Northern Arizona ORKIN and get more than an exterminator. Get an expert.
Welcome back to Countywide. I'm Philip Catalfamo. We are continuing our conversation with Manzanita Outreach Executive Director Mike Newcomb. Their website is manzanitaoutreach.org and, of course, mohelp.org as well. Their number is 928-649-5772. Mike, you guys have introduced a new program. It is for a limited time. I do want to say that. It is called Farmers to Families. I've got a small postcard of it here. I don't know if we can see it on screen, but Farmers to Family Food Box. Let's talk about this, Mike.
Yeah, that's an amazing program and really blessed to have it. We were selected and excited about being selected to be a distributor for this program. So it's a USDA program, which is a stimulus package for farmers. Mm-hmm. So farmers that are impacted or families that are impacted through the COVID-19 pandemic. So what happens is they work with farmers and then distributors of food, and we get pre-packaged now store quality produce and dairy boxes come to our facility, and we're able to get those out through our community. It's beautiful. It's produce like potatoes, onions, apples, peaches, and so on.
And it's all fresh stuff.
Just what you would expect to get if you went to the store.
Right.
Yeah, it's really, really nice. And for those that could use a little assistance, that's what it's for. But also for people that just don't feel comfortable going to the grocery store right now. It's open to the public, so we encourage people to come, and they can pick those up in the Verde Valley at our food share events on Saturday mornings, which are from 8:30 to 9:30 at Verde Valley Christian Church. Yeah, so you can find that on mohelp.org, but we'd love to have families come out and share in this program.
Now, what is the difference between the usual box that somebody would go get if they went to a food sharing event and this farmer's box?
Well, the produce and the dairy are fresher, for one. I wouldn't say it's more variety, because we get a lot of variety typically, but the difference is we don't have to pack it. We don't have to sort and bag and pack, so it made a huge impact on our operation where we had the temporary workers doing the assembly line process. Now we're just focused on actually distributing this program.
And that should help a lot too, because a lot of the issue was that sort of human contact of people having to hand bag all the boxes and then hand it off to somebody else. Of course, you guys are taking proper precautions. People were opening up their trunks and you're putting it directly in the trunk. But having these pre-packaged helps in a tremendous amount, because I would assume then you can bring back in more volunteers that maybe you had to send home initially, but you get to send them out quicker. I would assume so.
It's exactly right. Yeah. It just speeds everything up, and again, it allows us to grow and expand what we do. So it just makes us that much more efficient. So we know we have it through July. Mm-hmm. We may have it through August, and depending on what the federal government does as far as funding, it could last longer, and depending on what happens with COVID.
Yeah, well hopefully it continues. This sounds like a great program, and then obviously MoHelp, which we've talked about before, and we're going to talk about it again. The last time you were in studio. You guys were getting ready to launch MoHelp, and now it is expanded incredibly. Hopefully it doesn't mess with the background of my shirt here, but you guys have expanded MoHelp significantly.
Yeah, it lists all food assistance providers within Yavapai County now, where it was just Verde Valley. The idea is, no matter where anyone lives in the Verde Valley or in the Yavapai County, they can go to mohelp.org and find out where food is shared.
Yeah, and again, mohelp.org. Their website is manzanitaoutreach.org. You talk about. Let's just go back to the farmers to families. How did you guys get started with that?
Well, I was actually contacted by the CEO of St. Mary's Food Bank in Phoenix and asked if we'd like to have the program. And he explained it to me, Tom did, and I'm like, yeah, absolutely we would. It'd be an honor to be able to do this, to be able to help farmers and again, to be able to expand what we do. And we've been able to expand it to our home deliveries, so it's going to our locations locally like Verde Valley Manor, Highland Square, Christian Care, the senior independent living facilities, and then the rural communities that live so far away from grocery stores, and now they're able to pick up these beautiful boxes of produce and dairy.
Now, what are you getting with this box? Like you mentioned a couple times. What are you getting?
Well, produce is all varieties, right, from lettuce to peaches, potatoes, apples, onions, oranges, peppers, squash. The milk in the dairy box is milk, yogurt, sour cream, cottage cheese, block cheese. It has to be at least probably $60-$70 worth of food at retail.
A lot of stuff that you probably couldn't find at the grocery store, or at least to the freshness quality that you would get maybe if you went to a farmer's market.
Yeah, exactly. So it is, it's good in so many ways. It eliminates. I look at things as constraints, and so we're constrained sometimes by. I've felt the sense of food insecurity because. I don't really want to go to the grocery store. Mm-hmm. And for someone that, maybe needs a little bit of assistance financially, it just amplifies that. So to have a solution where you can get fresh produce, no matter where you live, produce and dairy, it's a really, really nice program. And I think I read online that nationwide there's been over 20 million of these boxes distributed. So this is a national program that goes through the food bank and nonprofit system.
Well, like you said, people who don't have an opportunity to go to the grocery store or maybe not comfortable to go back right now because COVID is still going on, they get an opportunity to get farm fresh produce and products directly to them. They can just go get it or somebody go gets it for them. It's incredible, and I hope it sticks around. I know that it is for a limited time. Again, manzanitaoutreach.org is their website. mohelp.org, 928-649-5772 is the phone number. We're going to keep talking to Mike Newcomb on the other side of this break. Don't go anywhere. Countywide will be right back.
ORKIN has pest control down to a science.
When your business chooses ORKIN's Precision Protection Program, you get a tailored pest control program for your specific industry and environment.
Your business can benefit from over a century of experience, training, and scientific knowledge that define the ORKIN man.
Maximum protection, minimum exposure, backed by one of the industry's most comprehensive guarantees.
Choose your locally owned and operated Northern Arizona ORKIN and get more than an exterminator. Get an expert.
Award-winning Soundbites Grill is an entertainment restaurant located in Uptown Sedona at the Hyatt Pinion Point Resort. Open for lunch and dinner, featuring fresh fish, all-natural hand-cut beef, even a full vegan menu. Family-friendly, open 11:30 to 9, late dining on Friday and Saturday. Soundbites Grill has some of the best views of the Sedona Red Rocks. Offers world-class entertainment, food, fun, and music.
Are you struggling to overcome an addiction, depression, insomnia, or a weight problem? Then it's time for you to meet with Dr. Elaine Kissel, award-winning, world-renowned hypnotherapist, author, and mind trainer. Now you can get her help from the privacy and comfort of your own home. Let Elaine Kissel create a personalized hypnotherapy plan to overcome your problem forever. Call 844-4KISSEL now for a discounted evaluation appointment. That's 844-4KISSEL.
So I just moved in with his family, and it's embarrassing. The little one, he likes to go outside and crawl around in the giant litter box. I don't know what he's doing. I mean, I was born and I knew how to use the litter box. Look at that. That's disgusting. Oh, poop already. You're making me nervous. Oh, okay, I can't look at this anymore. I really hope he grows out of this, for his sake.
Welcome back to Countywide. I'm your host, Philip Catalfamo. We are continuing our conversation with Mike Newcomb, the Executive Director of Manzanita Outreach. Their website is manzanitaoutreach.org, and of course, mohelp.org that we mentioned throughout the entire show. Mike, we were talking about the farmers program that you guys have initiated for a limited time. We talked about MoHelp. Let's talk about how people can get involved. Volunteers right now. I know you mentioned that you guys had sent a couple volunteers home because of the COVID risk. Are you guys taking volunteers again? What's up with that?
We are taking names, so we would encourage people to come to our website and sign up to volunteer, and we'll reach out to you. But we're being very, very cautious about how and when we bring people in. So we're really just trying to keep a close eye on COVID, and but we would love to have your contact info in the event that we're able to really ramp up things and do it safely. I'd love to have people where we could reach out to.
And in talking about doing things safely, you mentioned some of the delivery options for people. Obviously, they can go to the food sharing events, but there's also home delivery and proxy delivery. Let's talk about those two.
Yeah, so at the bottom of the Verde Valley page on MoHelp, there is an option. So if you can't find or get to food sharing events that are listed on the calendar, then you could sign up as a proxy or have a proxy pick up food on your behalf. So there's a form that you could fill out, and then they could pick it up at one of our food sharing events. And if that doesn't work, then we have a home delivery option, and we have been partnering through COVID-19 with Old Town Mission has been helping us with those deliveries. So, but you could actually register, and someone would reach out to you and set up a home delivery.
Now, what about donations? People want to get involved in other ways. Obviously, maybe they don't want to volunteer because of the COVID risk, but they want to help out. So, where can they go to donate?
They can go to manzanitaoutreach.org, and there is a donate button. We are a qualified organization for the Arizona tax credit, so just like to mention that. And yeah, please, it puts fuel in the tank, as we said earlier. It helps, and I would encourage that for your nonprofit of choice. Take advantage of that, because there's so many doing great work. And I would encourage the community to get involved that way, because it is tough to do it physically right now. It really is.
Yes, it very much so is. And like I mentioned, the people who aren't necessarily comfortable volunteering right now but want to help out can donate. Again, the website is manzanitaoutreach.org, and then obviously mohelp.org as well. 928-649-5772. Mike, we've covered a lot. It's been a while since we've been in studio together. It seems like this year has just been going on forever. But it's nice to hear organizations like yours partnering with everybody else, working together for the benefit of the community.
Well, it's just a privilege to be able to do what we do. I know our whole group feels that way, and to have your station and you, Philip, to be able to bring us to light, and so people can find out, in this case, where to get food.
Yeah. Again, manzanitaoutreach.org is the website, mohelp.org as well. 928-649-5772. If you know somebody who does need help, feel free, reach out, mohelp.org, and they'll point you in the right direction. Mike, I want to thank you for your time. I'd shake your hand, but we're still going through COVID right now, so I appreciate what you do. Thank you for taking the time, and I want to thank you very much for watching and listening. We will have a great rest of your week, and we will talk to you again next time.